It was like hustle. Because I was there and I was angry.
Okay, shut up.
What's your problem, bro?
Okay, today is
First we're on.
today is 5th of February,
Is it?
23:36,
Yes.
and we are on. Welcome.
And we're finally doing this podcast, which is, I mean, you guys were supposed to come when? Like a week ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry for the delay.
Who wants tea?
Me.
All right.
Thank you, everyone.
This is some special tea, by the way. Thank you very much for are you gonna hold the microphone until the end for me?
No.
By the way, can you hear
Yeah.
me? Okay. Do I sound good?
Yeah.
Do you like my voice?
Thank you.
You're welcome. So,
Okay.
wanna go for the first one?
Sorry.
Go.
Go what?
Are you gonna say something?
No, you can start.
What should I say? Hello.
There is no
The
worst
awkwardness.
possible. There is no worst possible way to make them feel even more
You
anxious.
just look me in the eye and go.
Wait. So you said that you've done other things, like you've done many other things, but you've never done a podcast. What other things have you done before?
I've been on
YouTube
many
videos?
YouTube videos. Like so many of my friends had YouTube channels before, and I've been their guest of honor.
Have you ever seen any of our videos?
I've been in your vlogs.
Oh, yeah.
I was in your
true.
vlogs.
You have a blog or a vlog?
Vlog.
I used to have a YouTube channel.
You used to have a YouTube channel.
It was shitty, though.
What was the YouTube channel about?
Me and my ex-housemate,
Uh-huh.
we used to post our daily things.
Like what kind of things? Like daily?
We used to introduce ourselves, talk about what do we do here,
Mhm.
daily things here.
Wait, in Turkey?
Yeah, in Turkey.
Okay.
Like two girls living alone here. He's kind
Two
of
girls in a room.
Okay.
Two girls in a room. There's a cup somewhere sitting.
Shut up.
Disgusting.
Disgusting creature.
I have actually, I just know about what is contained in that video. I've never actually watched it.
I watched it before.
How horrible is it?
It's fucking hard. It's disgusting. And they actually eat it afterwards.
Yeah, that's what I know. That's what I know. That is right. That is exactly what I know.
That was a torture for me, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay, let's change the subject. Thank
so,
you.
well, wait, back to what about you? What kind of YouTube channels have you been on? What have they been
It's
about?
like my friends' vlog channels posting random shit about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So, I was just given a really cool idea. Well, it's not like I'm going to be the pioneer of this, and it's not like it's a totally new and noble thing, but it's a really fun idea to create debates, arguments, and eventually and hopefully breakups. So I don't remember what the name of it was, to be honest, but how it goes is I will name 3 or 2 things, or maybe even just one thing: a subject, a person, a concept, a theory, a character, anything, and you're going to say whether it's overrated or underrated.
Okay.
And why it is overrated and underrated.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready?
Yep.
No, but okay.
Okay. The first one is this guy.
Mm-hmm. You go first, Nika.
Who?
This guy.
What about me?
He's one of the sweetest.
What is the frame of overrated and what was what?
Just be quiet. Let the people speak. Let the people speak.
Then I will watch the football for a while.
Okay, I'll fix it. Let me jerk it a little bit.
I was trying. No.
Keep talk. I mean, you're not gonna know if you don't talk. So just talk
hello.
about the guy.
Okay. This guy.
Is it working?
No.
Okay, then tell me when it's working. Go on.
Shall I say like if he's overrated or underrated? What should I say about him?
No, yeah, is he overrated or underrated? I'm just kidding. Okay. Well,
Sorry.
the first one that I would like to talk about. Well, first of all, how much of a musical background do you have?
Not that much. Compared to you, not that.
Okay, don't compare yourself to me.
Offended.
No, but generally, like, how do you know the classics?
No.
Okay, I'm done with the classics, basically. Let's go with here, this town, this city.
Okay.
Underrated or overrated?
I like it here actually.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I chose this city because it's the capital, first of all.
Sure.
And I mean, first things first, because I'm a girl living here alone, it is safer compared to Istanbul, let's say. Where I come from, it is a really crowded city, and I'm not used to living in like small cities in which the population isn't that much, let's say. So I was looking for a safe city to live alone in.
Yeah.
Which is also the capital city.
Yeah.
And
by the way, you're hearing yourself.
yeah.
Okay, great.
And I think this was the best choice. I wanted to come to Turkey because it is so near and cheap. It's really cheap.
It was
It
cheap.
is.
Was cheap.
It is it's still cheap.
It was cheap, but still.
Yeah,
Still
if you're comparing it to Istanbul, yeah, definitely it is cheap. But because of the
Comparing
situation,
it to
it's
France.
fucking expensive.
I was
Because of some assholes up there.
true. I get what you're saying, but like
While I had the microphone, you were talking.
Okay, but is it overrated or underrated?
overrated.
Ankara is overrated.
Do you think Ankara is overrated?
How dare you?
Definitely, it's underrated. It's one of the best
Why?
capitals in the world. For living, not traveling. For living.
Oh yeah, for living, yes, but for traveling, it's a no.
Doesn't have anything like.
Definitely.
It is not a touristic city anyway.
True. True. I do agree.
What you think?
Underrated, but like.
Overrated, underrated.
Yeah. It's like both because I have this love-hate relationship with Ankara, so I cannot decide, but underrated. You're gonna say why?
Yes.
We can keep it there.
Can I ask something in between? Can I
Sure.
burp?
You can burp.
Thank you.
Are you gonna? Really? I judged you.
Actually, we were talking about this today. She was like, "Can we burp?" I was like, "I don't know."
Can I say fuck?
Can you say
Can we
what?
swear?
Can you say what? Can you say what? What?
Fuck.
What?
Fuck.
Yeah. So, why?
You're asking the wrong person. Even though I've been living here for like almost 6 years, I don't know. I still don't know why, but it's an underrated city because people are like comparing it to Istanbul. They think like it's not a good city to like live and have fun, but I think it's a nice place.
Okay, but are we talking about idiot people?
Yeah.
If there is someone and who like says Istanbul is a better place for living rather than Ankara, definitely.
There's so many people, but they're
You're
idiots. So.
idiots. Are you serious? How could it be? What are you doing?
I'm stretching my back, looking at the laptops.
Why?
I don't know. Me being me.
Go further. Come on, close the microphone.
Sorry.
No problem. Okay, I wanted to ask you something. I forgot. We were talking about YouTube and podcasts and blah blah blah. I think we are in an era that some people are old-fashioned. They want to work in offices and lots of other things. And also, we have lots of people who are millionaire and they are not working in offices and they're working on their YouTube channels. They're working on podcasts. What do you think of that? And do you like your lives because you're working on site? Do you want to change it? How do you see that topic?
You go first.
I don't know. It takes a lot of courage to like do something like this for a living and like deciding that I'm gonna start a YouTube channel and like take it serious and like do it and make money off of it. So I wish I could do that. Maybe I'll do it one day, but I don't know. You have the experience. You should be the one going first.
I actually do have the experience, but it's like it takes so much effort and time, which I don't have. I mean, I prefer to work
a 9-to-5 job than like doing that much, right?
I prefer to work on my own and what I'm good at. Let's say I'm not. I didn't have any experience when I started.
What are you good in?
I'm good at English.
Okay, so you can have your own business on YouTube, for example.
Like
And
teaching
also,
English.
plus question, yeah. Do you think creating a career on YouTube, on online platforms, takes more time than on-site jobs?
Yes, actually, yes. Because you have to be creative on creating content. Because there are already people who are doing this. So you have to do something that is new. You have to have a new idea. Or you have to be more presentable. Okay, it's either...
What about consistency?
Do you want to go to...
Yeah, the discipline is...
What about consistency?
What about it?
Well, for instance, as far as I know, for instance, somebody like Mr. Beast, who is one of the biggest YouTubers, if not the biggest YouTuber right now in the world. I believe I was watching this. Like it was an accident. I never follow any content by Mr. Beast. I've never watched any of his videos completely or wholly. But I came across this video where he was being interviewed. It was like a 7-minute video, like a slice of his full interview, and he was talking about his the beginning years of his YouTuber or trying to be a YouTuber activities, and he mentioned the fact that he was just uploading videos every week for like 2 whole years, and he was just not sure at all. Sorry, when he was like 16 or something, 16, 15, not sure, and he was just not fucking sure like what is exactly going to happen. But I mean, eventually he turned into Mr. Beast, right? So what about consistency? Isn't consistency important too?
It is. It is important. Obviously, it is important. But like, I think creating new content, like having a new idea, makes your YouTube channel more interesting.
Oh yeah, definitely. I agree with you. Sure, it just makes it just makes it definitely more diverse and outstanding.
True.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. We were talking about 2 things. First of all, creativity. Don't you think, as a teacher, you are creative? Like, I think without creativity, you are not a good teacher. You have to be creative for each student and find a new way for each student to help them learn.
True.
So you are creative. but you don't trust your creativity for a YouTube channel. I'm not saying it that working a YouTube channel on these kind of things is better than on-site jobs. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But I am trying to say that it is not more difficult or nonsense or these kind of things. I think we are in the frame of society kinda because of our schools, because of our parents, because of everything. And now being avant-garde is not easy
Mm-hmm.
because we've been seeing different kind of education systems in university, at school, and blah blah. And now we are talking about something which is against all of them, kinda.
Mm-hmm. In my case, because I'm myself, I'm a perfectionist. So, I mean, because I was so immature and I don't have any experience in making vlogs or teaching English on YouTube, making videos on YouTube or any other platform. I mean, I want myself to be the best. That's why. I mean, because I'm so new, I don't have any experience, I don't have any background on it. I'm not that confident.
But they all started like that, so
Yeah.
like,
That is
nobody
true.
had
won't-
experience.
I won't
at
use your
first.
words against you again.
I know
So,
that. That is true.
You didn't start your teaching job as an experienced teacher.
No, I didn't. But
So-
it was back in my own country. I knew. I mean,
But when you're doing like something like YouTube, it's not like the country doesn't matter. So
true.
So, Lisa, what do you think?
I think the most important thing is consistency and the discipline. The creativity is like you start with your own ideas, then you like have this following, and then you like listen to what they want to see or what they want to hear. So I think the creativity is not the most important part.
I wonder if one of the relatively high and hindrance like bumps that we have that, you know, creates a good matter of conflict when we decide to do something or become something as individuals is our nationality and what has, you know, what has come to become the reality of today in the country where we come from. I wonder if that really affects how we feel and think when we come to a point where we want to decide whether we want to get creative on a subject or not. And it's actually a question that I've written in my tiny notebook here. Why would one who is from the country of Iran not want to be known as Iranian? Because I'm sure we have all faced many Iranians who have tried to not show that they're Iranian as much as possible, as hard as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if that also affects our creativity and our decisions in any form of content creating. Well, it's actually two questions, but I'd like you guys to linger on this and to share your thoughts on both of the questions. You understood the first question, I think. The second question, why should one who is from Iran not want to be known as an Iranian?
I actually never had a problem with like telling people that I'm Iranian, so I don't know.
Yeah, but there are many who do have, and I'm sure you must have some kind of thought or idea on why they might not want to.
I don't know, what do you think?
I mean, we've all faced the phase that we hated being from Middle East in such a country like Iran.
What the?
I faced it too. I mean, when I started working here, the first institute that I went to, they asked me to tell a lie to my students, tell them that my father is American. And I actually liked it. Like, I actually did like it. They were like, "Oh my God, you're from America?" I was like, "Yeah, from America." Couldn't believe it. And it's like
And I hated that, like, I still do.
it is
Because
like,
I'm like, when people tell me like where you're from, and I'm like, I'm from Iran, and they don't know how Iran is, and when I explain to them like, this is our country, we do not travel on camels, it's actually fun. Because that's how they
funny
think.
story, when I came to Turkey, the hotel that I was staying in, the lady asked me like, "Where are you from?" I told her I'm from Iran, and she was like, "Is it true that you don't have any cars in Iran?" I was like, "Bro, what the fuck? What the actual fuck? Like, what do you think of us? Like, what? Why?"
Yeah, I've heard many, like, are women allowed to drive, or are all women like covered in like a, you know, like a really heavy dash of hijab?
Yeah.
Yeah, also plus like covering their eyes and everything. Yeah, sure, it's common. It's very common.
It is common because the country is showing such a thing.
True.
Do you want to go in the room and speak?
I think it is common because the country is showing such a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like each year, the most important thing that it's been showing in media is Arbain ceremony.
Yep.
So people think that, okay, everyone in Iran done, but fuck no.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think about the first question? What do you think about this being a hindrance and preventing you from with full confidence, expressing and embracing your ideas, which you also feel are rather, to some extent, creative?
We're looking at each other like,
Again, Mr. Say, you go first.
shut up.
No. First say.
You go
That's
first.
what I always do. I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. You go first. I don't understand their like mentality of not wanting to be Iranian. Like,
What is the mentality that makes you feel comfortable to show that you are Iranian?
I don't know. I just accepted the fact that I was born and raised in like that culture, and I'm a Middle Eastern woman. So I don't know. It's just my mind works like that. I cannot change it.
This may sound cliche, but I mean, the culture we have, it's so beautiful and deep. The fact that I look...
2,500 years ago, yes.
See? That is true. That is true. That is true. But I'm proud of it, actually. I'm proud of coming from such a culture. I mean, right now we're not in a good state, but the culture is beautiful. Yeah.
Like, okay, I think I am proud of the history of Iran, not the culture of Iran. The culture of Iran now in 2023 is full of superstitious, nonsense beliefs. And if you talk, actually, I think this is one of the reasons that we don't want to talk about our country, or maybe we want to hide it somehow. Or when we see an Iranian, somewhere else, we try to speak English or Turkish or German or French or whatever to show that we are not Iranian, because we don't want to have a conversation with those Iranian people, because our mindset, our perspective about life is completely different with the culture of the country. So I think we can't be proud of the culture because we have problem with the culture, and that's why we are not in Iran. Maybe for me it's one of the most important reasons, because the culture that our parents and our society and our government is trying to teach us is not the fact that I believe or the culture that I want to live in or such a thing. So, are you sure that you are proud of the culture or you are proud of the history?
Actually, I'm proud of both.
So you don't have any problem with the culture that we have now in Iran?
I do have problems, but looking to it as a whole, I like it.
Can you help me to catch up? Can you tell me something good about the culture
I
that
think
we
you
have
like
now?
it right now because you're comparing it to Turkey,
Yeah,
where you
I was
live.
exactly comparing it to like Turkish culture.
Can you tell me some good points about Iran's culture now?
We are way more friendlier than Turkish people.
Not to be racist.
I wish I were
but-
German in that topic. Okay.
Let me think. Let me
Well-
think. Yeah.
Well, but I don't. What do you think about this, both of you? So there's a tiny problem with the concept of pride and the concept of using and embracing the word pride, and associating it with yourself and with how you feel, because usually it makes a lot more sense when you have on yourself done something and then felt pride toward it. For instance, you worked really hard and you finally, after years, got really good at English and you started making money from it. Well done to you. Kudos to you. You should be proud of yourself. When you learn an instrument, when you do something that a lot of people thought you could never actually be able to even get close to succeeding at, kudos to you. Bravo. I mean, you really deserve some form and some amount of appreciation. But the problem with pride in this subject, don't you think, is that, well, you did not ever decide to come from these lands, and you did not ever even come close to having an option whether to go for it, go for Iran, or not to go for Iran. And why would one have pride toward a specific land and not to other forms of lands? Well, because they're born from there, and well, they grew up there. But did you decide that? I mean, you could be proud about, having decided to come to Turkey, maybe, or having decided to go to Finland. But help me out here and tell me how one could actually be proud of being born in a country. How does that work?
I love how you just look at me. Okay, I'm gonna say I don't know, but yeah, we don't choose where we come from, but since I think it's because we're comparing it to where we're living right now. That's why we're like, I'm so proud of being like an Iranian human being, because like there are, as she said, differences between Turkey's people and Iranian people. And I think I started to love Iran even more after I moved to Turkey.
True.
Because before like moving here, I was like, if I leave Iran, I'm never going to come back. But
Same.
it doesn't work like that. When you like communicate with other people from other countries, it changes everything, and you say like, it's like you don't belong. That's why you say like, I love my country and I'm proud to be an Iranian. I don't know if you like get what I mean, but that's how I feel.
Yeah, that's the point actually. We may like Iran more than other countries because we have more information about it because we live there.
Hmm.
But being proud of it, proud of something that we didn't choose, it doesn't make sense. It is not just for us. It doesn't make sense in any other country.
We're not like saying that I'm proud of Iran, like Iran is better than other countries. It's just like, I don't know, the history and the culture we had before is something to like be proud of, I
I
think.
do agree.
Okay, but for example, now we are living in Turkey.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of thing is happening. Lots of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. And we are not sure about the news.
Mm-hmm.
They are lying. We know that.
Yeah.
It is normal in everywhere. So how can you trust the history of Iran? Actually, we are talking about the history that we are proud of it, but in it, like Muslim people that they attack lots of country to
Mm-hmm.
talk about peace in Islam. We did the same thing. Like the kings that we say, oh my God, those eras, blah blah, they killed lots of people.
True.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you? How can you
I
be
mean-
proud of something that is full of blood? And why are you proud of it?
I mean, back then, it wasn't like now, let's say, like killing people in order to have power, something common. Bring it to now. But that is true. I get what you're saying. That is not an excuse. That was just a fact.
Yeah. I think for a lot of people, it's just a way of assuring and reassuring that they have a place and a piece of comfort being laid somewhere in the back of their mind where they could lean on to whenever they need to provide a state of home, a state of thought that is associated and contributed to home. And it's actually a very common topic as soon as you leave your country, the concept and topic of home, right? Where is home? What is home? When am I ever going to feel like home again? And I actually really I'm really curious what your struggles have been with this concept, with the concept of home and belonging.
Since I immigrated myself when I was 19, it's been really hard for me. I didn't know Turkish. I still am struggling with Turkish.
Namana?
I still am struggling, to be honest, but I'm way better than when I didn't know how to say hello in Turkish.
Yeah, she was having some problems.
Yeah, I was having.
Orta kapıyı açabilir misin?
Okay. Well, like, you see, since I go back to Iran twice a year, I have this excitement. Like, I have to go back, meet my family, meet my friends, blah, 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 blah. And when I go back after a week, I'm like, bro, I cannot live here anymore. It's a struggle for me. It's like a daily fucking struggle for me. It is, and when I come back here, after like 2 months, 3 months, I get homesick. And I start crying over shit. Like, I start crying over the life that I used to have there, which was way more easier than here. Like, you see, when you go home to your parents, you have warm food, a warm house, someone who greets you in, hugs you, asks you, how's your day, blah, 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 blah. It is heartwarming. At the same time, when you get used to living alone, after 1 week, 2 weeks, you're like, bro, fuck off. It's none of your business. Where have I been? What have I done? You see, that is what I'm struggling with. This summer, I went back to Iran for 2 months. The first month, everything was like great. But like the 5th week, I was like struggling because, I mean, my mom, it was like, okay, it's been a month you're living here. Where were you? Why are you late? What have you done? Did you put gas in the fucking car? I was like, bro, chill. I mean, my parents aren't that strict, but since I'm a Persian girl, I mean, and I do like living alone. I do like being independent, but living alone is all about being me, myself, and I. There is no one else there. And I'm actually kind of scared of being alone. That's a fact. I always tell her that my biggest fear is dying alone without anyone noticing it.
There is something that I'm proud of myself because of this thing, this topic, this word, loneliness. I accepted it and I'm enjoying it. After a long time, I had the same kind of problems. I remember the first night that I came to Turkey. The moment that I went to the room that I had there, back then, Al, hashtag Al.
Shout out to him.
He fucked us with like saying back in the day, back then, like a
And
million
how old is
times.
he? Like
Yeah,
No, actually,
back then.
You know, actually, the point is he was talking about 5 minutes ago. Okay. The moment that I sat there on the chair, I asked myself, what the fuck? What are you proving to yourself, to your family? But now after 6 years, I'm proud of myself to build lots of things by my own. And I want to do the same experiment that I love it and I made it. I will tell you a word and please imagine something in your mind about that word and
You
then let
did
me
this
know.
before.
Yeah, I know. But I've never done it here on the podcast.
Okay.
So this time I'm going with another word so you can prepare it. So the word is sugar. What do you have in your mind?
Sweetness,
Do you have any picture?
whiteness.
What do you have any picture?
A sugar cube?
Okay.
I mean, I don't know, a small like jar like thing where there's like a lot of sugar cubes in it, I guess.
And I remember my grandmother's home while we were having breakfast. It was a red jar full of sugar and blah blah. See, we are alone. Anyway, we are alone. We are trying to make connection with the languages, but doesn't matter. Even if you know all the languages in the world, you are alone. And the fact that we are alone actually helped me to enjoy the life more than back then.
I'm right now. I'm living alone right now. I have my own house.
Almost.
Yeah. I was about to say that.
I mean, I have friends coming over. I mean,
Like
she's
half
always
of the
there.
time
I'm
I'm
fucking proud of it, huh?
living with you. Like
Hey, you're basically living with me, but
part-time living with you.
we're part-time roommates. Let's
Yeah.
say. But I improved my mentality over it. Let's say. You see, even though everything's better right now, but I still hate going out by myself. I'm scared. That is the thing. I get scared really easily over the fact that what do people think of me? Do they think that I'm a loser? Do they think that I'm a loner? Do they think that Okay.
That was so spontaneous. This is the first time I think in my life that I've decided to take a selfie ever.
Yeah, you don't look like a selfie guy.
literally. This is living proof here. He knows I've never taken a selfie before.
Actually, 2 or 3 days ago, we were checking some pictures of our traveling to Eskişehir. And what was the name of the
Was it you?
köy? Was you?
It's Summit, he is this.
They look cute.
Yeah, and then we noticed that we don't have any picture together. So I told him, let's start doing something about it. Because we don't share anything.
They
on
say
our-
that best friends
Yeah,
don't have.
I was about to say that. Like, best friends, like the real
Yeah.
best friends, don't have a lot of pictures.
Yeah, but 10 years later, it
Yeah,
will be fun
you're-
to
Yeah.
just check them. Okay, loneliness.
Yeah.
Go on.
I was saying that like I get scared over the fact that what do people think about me? Am I a loser? Am I a loner? And I get scared. I get scared of people's opinion. It was like 2 months ago. I was talking to one of my friends, and she told me that this comes because of our culture. Again, this comes from the fact that we expect ourselves to be the best that we can. And because I think the best is in the fact that not to be lonely, let's say. When I was a kid, I was a loner. I was always bullied over the fact that I was overweight. I was overweight. My parents were way older than me, which they are. They're in their 70s and I'm in my 20s.
Fucking explain how older they are. Unbelievable, right?
Yeah, it is unbelievable, to be honest. But I was always bullied. I was the lonely kid in the class, and this comes from my childhood trauma. I am scared of being lonely. I mean, I'm way better now. I go to school alone. I do my stuff alone. I go to work alone, blah, 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 blah. But because I don't think about being lonely. If I start to think about, like, I'm going there alone, I swear to God, I'm a panic in the middle of the street, start crying, hugging my own feet, go back home. That is me. And I call my mom, I'm coming back to Iran. I know myself. I just ignore it. I just ignore the fact that I'm living here alone. And I'm alone. You see?
Oh my god, that was my stomach. Sorry.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
Don't you think running away from the problems makes you face them in a bad situation?
I do.
I mean, I understand. Like, everyone has some, if we call it mental problem. Everyone has something. Everyone has some phobias. Everyone has some these kind of problems. But shouldn't we try to accept and solve them instead of ignoring them? Which one is better? And I know the fact that it's so fucking difficult.
Yep. I do agree with accepting and solving the problems. That is how conscious human being shall behave. Stop.
It makes me
What's
want to
wrong with
pee.
you?
Stop it.
Yeah, I'm saying. But I'm not. Yeah, fuck you. I'm not ready yet.
I'm so unhappy with the tea that I made.
Why?
It's really bad.
It's
I just did. I just put on.
it's
put
like
water on
too
the stove.
sweet. What kind of a tea is it?
Can I order green tea this time?
No, it's like.
Can we
the
order?
The sweetness was not enough. It was not good. I mean, it was too much. It
Yeah,
was not
it was
It
too
was
much.
slightly, like more than it should be.
Mhm.
And the tea was the amount of tea that I added was not enough either, which is why it's.
It wasn't
kinda
that bad
tasteless.
though.
Yeah,
I-
it wasn't that bad.
I've done better and I will do better on the
Okay.
next turn.
Prove yourself.
They have no idea about tea.
Prove yourself.
I don't
Yeah,
live
well.
alone. I live with my parents. That's why. Actually, in Nika's, I make the tea most of the time.
Yeah, she makes the tea. I make the
Because
food.
I'm such a tea person.
Okay.
She's more of a coffee
Okay,
person.
I'm gonna impress you with the next run.
Okay, I'm gonna tell my
So
opinion.
then that's why she thinks this tea was good,
I'm not good at
even
make-
though
I am
the
actually good at
maker
cooking.
didn't accept
be
it as a
honest.
good tea.
It was.
I'm
It
ex-
wasn't that bad. It was like a 7, but it could be a
No.
9
Out
and a
of
half.
100?
Out of 10.
I'll give you a 9 in the next run.
Okay,
Yeah. Just a couple
I'm
more
gonna-
minutes.
You
Update
Can I have a
people.
9 green
were
tea?
in my house. You drank my tea, not her. Do you remember me making tea?
it
with
wasn't like you just.
hell. What do we call hell in English?
Oh, it has a beautiful name.
Hmm.
I don't remember. wait. Oh, wait. Shit. I knew it.
Hell.
Okay,
let's
so
say.
in Turkish it's kakule. I know that. English, I don't remember.
Can you?
Motherfucker.
Can people
Can you please just tell me the first letter?
Google Translate it?
Don't say the full.
Cinnamon, Nika.
It is C.
Nika trying to cheat
Cumin?
behind the
Cumin?
mic.
Okay. Wait. So
What's it?
okay, C.
CA.
Oh, fuck.
Can I?
Can I see?
I
Don't cheat. Sing.
That's not right.
What do you mean?
But I.
That's not right.
Okay.
Let me
I was
do it.
trying to hide the word from him and him saying that it's not the right word.
Mhm. It's not cardamom, I think. Okay, I guess it is.
Sorry, but it's hurting my ear, so while you're looking
All
at
right,
me.
I don't know, whatever. Okay, let's go back to what we were talking about. It was interesting. Okay, it's cardamom or something, apparently. I don't know. I thought I knew something else.
Loneliness.
What is your take on this, and what is your share of this experience?
My immigration journey was different than hers, like different than most of my friends, because I moved here with my parents when I was 17, and I was feeling alone, but I wasn't at the same time because I wasn't living alone, basically. I had my mom and dad with me, but I was feeling alone in the society because I was the... I'm always the foreigner. Like even now in like my class in university, we are like 140 people and everyone refers to me as the foreigner. Oh, you're that girl? I'm like, yeah.
What
that
makes you
makes
stand
it-
out as being like
Nothing,
Because your
but, like-
Turkish is perfect.
Yeah, my Turkish is good. Most of the people don't understand
I know.
that
I
I'm
can
like
tell.
a foreigner.
I can tell.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, somehow, because like I ask different questions that they do. Like I always ask the foreigners department and everything, like things like that. They know that I'm the foreigner and everyone like refers to me as that. They don't remember my name, but they know that I'm that girl. But about the loneliness, I don't think I've ever had the problem of like going out and looking stupid and like thinking that
Lucky you.
if I sit in a cafe alone and have a coffee, I would like people
You
would be
actually
like,
do that.
I enjoy doing that.
Yeah.
My problem with loneliness is that like I'm scared to like feel heavy things alone. We actually talked about it last night. That is my problem. Like I not scared to like be alone in a room and like have like or spend 10 days alone with myself. It's the feelings that just makes it hard. Like when I'm going through something that is heavy mentally and emotionally, I don't like being alone. That's the thing.
Just I don't want to go like too too much sideways, but like I just have a short and quick question. How did you improve your English, and how did you learn like such like good English? I mean, it's a third language that you speak,
Yeah,
right? How'd you do that?
almost fourth.
Almost fourth?
Yeah, it's the
If
fourth
you
for her.
like,
Oh, if I
Yeah.
consider, I always forget. Sorry. Yeah, no, it's
It's-
actually
Okay.
It's actually fourth.
I am the youngest child in my family, and my sisters are way older than me. They're like in their 30s, late 30s, 40s. And I was like the apple of the eye of my like parents, and I was always with my mom. And when they she knows the story. And when I started going to kindergarten, I was like crying and like I didn't want to be there. So our like the principal, do they call it the principal in the kindergarten?
Yeah.
The lady took me to the English class because they were teaching with like toys and like stuffed animals. I don't know if you like ever
real stuffed animals.
Yeah.
Which the principal herself would like.
Exactly.
Roadkill. She would take the roadkills every day. She would go
In front of like
shed.
2-year-old people.
She would take the help of her young 3-year-old students.
Exactly.
This is how you open a rabbit.
Shut up.
Potting a rabbit.
I don't know if you guys like had it in your time back then. The books were called Tiny Talk, and there were like 2 little bears.
I
Yeah,
remember
Benny and
those.
Sue.
There were a couple of them. So there was Tiny Talk. There was Chatterbox. Remember Chatterbox?
No, we had Tiny Talk. Like there were this.
It was
Bears.
right after.
Stories.
It was right after Tiny Talk.
So I just passed that. The younger. Like,
a lot of the times, like kids, when kids, in the age of like 9, 10, they would have Tiny Talk, and then they would have Chatterbox.
no, I had Tiny Talk when I was like 5, and when I
Okay,
was like
yeah, sure.
9, 10, I had Hip Hip Hooray. I don't know if you guys saw
I don't
that.
know if that. I do not know if that.
They're Cambridge books, I think.
Did you guys later on work on the Summit Top
Yeah,
Notch books?
exactly.
Oh, yeah. What about the passages and the interchanges? Did you ever have those books?
No.
Those are for
My
for you,
sisters,
right?
my
Well,
sisters used to
different
have
story.
interchange.
I'm not as old as your sisters.
You're
You
not.
didn't know of it?
But
And
I
I haven't studied any English books in my life.
Okay,
Her
the
story with English
the
is very
reason why I
different.
didn't ask about you first is because what I've come to learn usually is that a lot of let's say Iranians specifically right now that I'm going to talk about, like if they already have like Azeri, or if they have like Azeri and Turkish already, it becomes a challenge for them to like work on their English.
True.
And to be able to learn English in such a way to be able to like express themselves whenever they want or whenever they desire, right? For me, it's actually no surprise, to see you with such great English. Your English is close to perfect English, actually.
Thank you.
But tell me your story too.
Since my dad. Okay, here's the thing. My parents always talk to me in English.
Whoa!
Yeah, my dad lived in America for 20 years.
So your dad is
Yeah, that is basically. I went to an international school, so I learned everything in English. That's why I can speak English. I mean, English is basically my first language. I first learned
Okay,
English.
Karen.
What are we calling her here, by the way?
Karen.
I'm Karen from California.
Oh my,
Oh my
god.
God.
Yeah.
Ronnie. Sorry.
I'm gonna go do the tea. The reason, by the way, why I try to point out, I try to ask and probe about people's, English and how they've, like come to reach such, level of English to be able to like come on a podcast and talk freely is because it's fascinating. It's another language.
Actually, people make fun of us for like talking so much English in our like daily lives. They're like, oh, like what did they used to call us something? Do they had a name for us?
For the tea, by the way.
Fun of my accent. I don't know what. Okay, I have a Californian accent. I do agree on it, and sometimes
That's why we call her Karen.
Yeah, that's why they call me Karen. But like, I'm really proud of my accent.
still
to be
not
honest. I really am, because I worked on it. Trust me. Okay, I learned English, but yet my mother tongue is Iranian. It's Farsi.
We're making fun of you just to make fun of you. It's
No.
not like
I'm not talking about you specifically. Like, a random dude who
I
doesn't know
know.
how to say hello. Like, bro, what the fuck?
And they're like, oh, you're Iranian. You're like, mother tongue is not English. Why do you use so much English in your like daily like routine? And we're like, it's
Because we
became
are
a thing. I know
teaching-
4 different
That doesn't matter.
languages.
For me, I think since I know more than 1-2 languages, I do like to use different languages even in one sentence. And also, I don't know, maybe my brain is an asshole, everyone knows it. But sometimes it's worse. Sometimes, some days, my brain doesn't accept English, so I speak Turkish. Some days it doesn't accept Farsi or Turkish, so I speak in another language.
Cigarette.
And I had a question. Do you have any languages in your waiting list that you want to start and learn?
I used to speak French.
No, in the future. Do you want
I
to learn
wanna
something?
learn
I
Spanish.
forgot it, so I wanna start
Spanish.
again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I do remember things because I'm still taking courses.
Go further.
Sorry, I do remember things because I'm taking courses in my university, but yet I'm not good as I used to be. So I am looking forward to start again.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
Yeah, I just said Spanish.
For her,
is-
she knew French, so she wants to learn it again and try to speak and blah blah. Why Spanish?
I'm curious about the like Latin culture,
Mhm.
so I want to learn Spanish to like.
Which let me check the.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Okay.
Amigo. The
Yeah,
only
that's
3
why.
words I know.
Okay, what do you know in Spanish, and what do you know about the category of Spanish?
Puta.
For example, we have Catalonian also. This is one of the languages definitely I'm going to learn since my favorite team is Barcelona.
What?
Actually,
Catalonian.
From which country is it?
That is
Yeah,
in Spain. Barcelona.
Oh, okay, sorry.
actually, I didn't put in the time to learn or just like do research about it. I'm not gonna lie, but we'll see in the near future.
Okay.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I do like French, but it is a really hard language.
And beautiful.
It is beautiful, trust me, it is so beautiful, but it is hard. Why? Because they have so many exceptional verbs.
I think it is not just verbs, also in that.
Everything is masculine or feminine, and
Okay, believe me, German is worse in that
Yeah.
case.
even
I
a
was-
chair, even like a bag, even.
Yeah, German is worse. Because in French we have 2 articles, but in German we have 3.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Like the amount of tenses that we have in English, we have it in the article of German.
Wow.
Because we have 4 different
How many
categories.
tenses do we have in English?
Sorry?
by the way? How many tenses do we have in English? 14?
With like perfect, modal perfect, and blah blah, I think we have 16.
Okay.
Am I right?
I mean, look, I've never really memorized the numbers, but one thing I've realized is what? No, it's this. It's my fault. The one. Can you hear me now?
No.
no.
The one thing I've realized is it depends on how you count it and how you actually like very thoroughly go into like more advanced and less seen and more invisible type of tenses. Like, yeah, sure. Some people say 12, some people say 14, some people say 16. And there's always like room to like add another idea, another tense. Like future,
Mm-hmm.
the future tense is actually way broader than like a lot of people think it is.
True.
I mean, even to natives, like they have a lot of them have no idea, like how many different future tenses there actually exists. There actually are or actually exists in the English language. So, I mean, sure, you could say 16, but there might be another way to count them and make them become like 18.
And also I can make it 32 for you if I add passives.
Yeah, then let's not forget that.
So yeah, we have 4 different categories in German. for articles, we use them as nominative, dative, accusative, and genitive.
Wow.
So basically, we are talking about subject, object, and so on. So for each word, also we have article. For example, if we talk about nominative, which is the subjective pronouns, kinda, we have masculine, feminine, neutral, and plural. And for all of them, we have different kind of articles. So we have 16 articles, kinda.
Wow.
Yeah. Lovely.
German is a hard language.
German
But you
is
know-
love
you know
with
what
Goethe.
You know what the interesting thing is? It's actually insanely easier for somebody who speaks Turkish or Farsi because of the existence of, well, in Farsi, maf'ul. And well, the other word that already exists, of course, in languages such as English too, which is be. And well, in Turkish, we also have the a, e, ya, e, and well, you know, arabayı, and you know, these kinds of things. So, it actually becomes very easy because this subject exists in German, but it does not exist in English. The ra subject, for instance, the ra topic does not exist in English, for instance, but it exists in German, just in a very different way, in a very nuancical. I always forget. So yeah, in a very, very different way. But yeah, like, you know, it makes more sense to somebody who already speaks like Farsi or Turkish or both.
Like pronouncing the words, it's way more easier for someone who knows Turkish. I mean French. I'm talking about French, not German, because you have these kind of pronunciations because of words actually in Turkish.
Yeah,
Wow.
like people who only know Farsi have problem with that in Turkish.
Kızılay.
You want to go?
Kizilay. No, I'm.
No.
Stop it. Kizilay, for example, or Tunali. That's how I know someone.
Or
Sikildim. you know,
Okay.
Çok-
Okay.
Çok
Çok sikildim.
Çok sıkıcı bir mevzu. Çok sıkıcı bir mevzu.
That's how I talk Turkish.
Mm.
I know how to pronounce them, but when I want to talk like fast, I
Yeah.
feel like I'm going to Kızılay. Kizilay.
Yeah.
Like when I say Tunalı, people
Tunalı.
make fun of me. You say Tunalı. Nazanin used to make fun of me. Do you
I don't
remember
make fun
it?
of you because
Because
your
you
Turkish is,
actually
like, way
correctly
better.
pronounce
Yeah.
it.
No, actually, which does
You guys don't know
You don't know
her.
her. She used to be my
If you
friend.
ever listen to this, Nazanin, we love
she
you
have
and
a
we miss you.
boyfriend? Did she have a
No,
boyfriend?
No,
used to
she's
be-
actually in.
Okay.
Not here.
No need to explain.
We got our answer.
I miss
Oh, okay.
I miss the past. I miss 1 minute ago because I might not be here in just 1 minute.
Back then.
Poetic.
How I and why I came to this is I wonder for you two specifically, what has been the major and biggest struggle in your life these days? What are you struggling with the most? Now, I'm not trying to direct you toward a specific direction, but I do have to just I would like to add that I want you to actually think more about the other side of life and the subject of life, not related to money or not related to jobs or not related to your school, but actually concepts that you see and you live and experience within people, among people. What are you struggling the most in that sense sociologically, hence maybe even a bit philosophically?
Wow.
I think like my biggest struggle for the past few years been my
Family?
my anxiety actually.
Uh-huh. True.
Like I've been on medication, I've been off medication, I've done so many different things to just deal with it, but like I don't think people understand the concept of anxiety, especially people who like never had severe problems, anxiety problems.
Please enlighten me and us.
So, like, think of it this way. You're always living in this state of mind that, like, you're always thinking about worst case scenario in everything, in every little thing, like, even, like, just like going, huh?
This is actually Iranian. Like, you're talking about the concept of being Iranian, thinking about, like, and everything, thinking about, like, the worst case scenario. But in your case, I do agree with you.
Yeah, but that one is because of experience, not because of this topic.
Yeah, it's
And
like
I know. Just wanted to add, like, a side note.
Yeah.
it's the disorder is like completely different. You're always
True.
triggered with like the smallest thing. Like you can say, "Are you okay?" to me, and I get triggered over it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like people need to like get more like be more educated on it, because nowadays so many people have this problem and they don't even know it. Like people are scared to go to see a doctor, a like psychiatrist or a like therapist to here there is someone raising her hand. Yeah, people are so scared to like
Face
be
problems. Yep.
diagnosed with anxiety or like depression.
True.
And I think if you get diagnosed, it's more easier to handle it in a way, because you know what's going on and you can like read about it and research about it and like find stuff that can help you and like try to explain to people that this is the situation and help other people. But when you don't know what's going on and you're just like, I have this feeling, but I don't know what it is, the case is way more different.
So, what exactly triggered this anxiety? And please also like elaborate on what is going on in your head, in your mind, when it is triggered, like when it goes on, and all hell goes loose. What's going on in your head?
Like even right now, me sitting here talking to a microphone, like you guys are like my best friends. I don't feel like this when we're like sitting normally, but like me talking to a microphone is like triggering me right now. Like my palms are sweaty. I'm like constantly shaking my leg or like changing my sitting position. He can feel that, he can see it. But like it's different in different situations. It depends on the situation actually.
I actually decided to name her anxiety Torobche. I asked
because
her,
like the thing is like most of the time you're like your mind is going like so many places. I always like try to explain it like, you know, when you make popcorn, you put the corn in a like pan or something and it starts like pop and they go like pop 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 and like suddenly you're in this state of mind and you don't even know why you're there. Like there's so many things happening in your head, so many voices.
For me, it's fuck.
So what? How did this start? Like where was the beginning of this?
I think I always had it. Like even when I was younger, I was diagnosed with it when I was 20. I'm almost 23. Nika laughing at me. But
she's old.
Yeah, I was diagnosed with it when I was 20, and I think I had it way before that and we didn't know, because like especially when your parents are much older, my parents are in their 60s, they don't like take things like this mental health issues seriously. So like even me right now talking to a psychologist is like weird for my father. He's like, you know everything, you can talk to us, and like no, it doesn't work like
I've
that.
been there.
So I think I always had it. Like even when I think about my like elementary school years, I think I had it back then. If it was handled right when it started, it wouldn't be this severe right now.
Mm-hmm.
That question actually is important. For me, these years is becoming kind of funny, but I think it was scary before. Imagine you have a problem and you think everyone has it. So you don't understand that your brain is working abnormal. So probably these kind of disorders always
Forgot to bring the spoon.
always exist. Okay,
Sorry,
I'm talking to you.
Sorry.
Run, Lola, run. Actually, it's not.
Actually,
Or
most of the time it's like that.
Shout louder, talk louder.
I'm sorry.
Neighbors couldn't hear you.
Can I say something?
Yeah, sure.
I didn't know I had anxiety before I met her, to be honest.
She made your life
I made her life go fuck.
Yeah, I didn't used to know I had anxiety when I met her.
This is a 10. This is a 10 or a 9.
I am gonna decide that. I'm the tea queen here.
Okay, so
Can you finish that?
these kind of
It's
problems.
cold how I should like.
Fuck's sake.
Fuck.
Thank you for. Okay, sorry.
So yeah, this problem existed since the beginning of each person's life, but probably they weren't aware of it.
True.
I can talk about myself. My mother used to tell me some stories of my childhood, that what were my hobbies and blah blah, and I could guess that I had these kind of problems since the beginning, even if I was 4 or something. So we had it, but
somewhere it shaped. I believe that is the theory. It's that somewhere, somehow, it starts shaping. It doesn't. Sure, genetics do have, I believe, some influence on it, but it's not like it comes from the very beginning. But it shapes. It starts shaping eventually at some specific age. It could be your very early years. It could be later in your teens. But somehow, somewhere, it shapes, right?
sometimes it could get worse or better. So the level could change. But since you don't know that you have a problem in your mind, so sometimes you try to act like other people.
True.
So, for example, I can make another example about a person who is 50 and at the age of 48 understood that he had ADHD. So for 48 years, he tried to be part of normal society, but he wasn't. So he had it in different kind of levels, different ages, according to the situation of the life, according to the school, university, office, blah, 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 blah. The level in each position, in each situation could be different, but he had it all the time. It's shaped, sometimes it's circle, sometimes square, sometimes triangle, but the problem is that main part of the problem, not the shape of it, not the way that we act or we show the problem.
Can I say something? The thing I think,
want to hear your opinion about the whole like anxiety thing, because you're somebody that experienced it way later than
we
I
were
think
actually
we did.
together the first
Yeah.
time I had an anxiety
That's
attack.
why I'm like,
We were hanging out with our friends, with our colleagues, and it was like 11 p.m. We were in Kızılay. We were going to catch the bus. Cheesy die. And we were about to catch the bus, and suddenly I was like, I had a stomach surgery 3 years ago. They took 75% of my stomach out.
Wow.
Yep. So I always have this disorders with my stomach. Whenever I eat a lot, I feel that I have to throw up. So I didn't eat a lot that day. We were walking, and I was like, Vesta, I am about to throw up. Something's wrong with me. I started shaking, like literally shaking in Cottonfield. Imagine 11:30 p.m. There, 2 girls alone.
You know
one-
the part in Karanfil where there are like drunk people sit. It's like a little bit darker.
Yeah.
we were
In that
exactly there.
part.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she was like, I need to sit. Don't talk to me. Don't touch me.
And I started
And-
crying.
and she started
literally
crying.
crying like like that. Okay, and I told her that call a boy, for God's sake, call a male, because we're alone here, and I was scared. At the same time, I was having a anxiety attack. So our friends came, the ones that we were hanging out, our colleagues came, and they were like, "What happened?" I was like, "I don't know what's wrong with me."
That's the thing. Like 90% of the time, I don't even know what.
That day,
What
I
is
fought it
going
with
on?
my boss ish,
Mm-hmm.
and I had 10 hours of class, so I was under a lot of pressure, let's say, and the experience was good because she was there with me, and I knew that she had experience of having such a anxiety attack. I've seen her
Being fucked up, you mean?
I've seen her going through the same thing. So I was like, for you guys, I being there for me, it's just enough. I need friends. I need a comfort zone.
Yeah, I remember we did this breathing thing.
Yeah, she helped me.
Where
She was
we
like, breathe in,
counted.
hold it, breathe out. Breathe in, hold
Yeah,
it,
we
breathe out.
counted
And that actually helped me. Yeah,
some numbers and
yeah, the
I
numbers.
tried to help. I don't
Uh-huh.
know if I could, but
It was a really shitty experience. I still have anxiety attacks. I like when I'm going back home from work, I still get anxiety attacks. But I got better. I really got better.
Say it quieter.
Sorry.
Loud.
What about you? What is it outside from anxiety that has been your biggest struggle these days?
Okay.
Again, anything about the pulp, anything about society, the society that you are in today, anything about traditions,
Okay.
could be anything.
Getting
What is it
started.
that grabs a big chunk of your mind today?
It's kind of personal, but
Go for it.
I just remember the sentence from my mother.
it was kind of personal. But my boyfriend kind of proposed. Yes.
people are so shocked. I
What?
love the face.
Yeah, my boyfriend proposed. Proposed. Yeah, he proposed.
When
Actually,
when?
the first time he proposed was a year ago.
First time
Yeah.
he proposed.
Yeah,
Out of how many times?
3. This is the third time, and I just said.
When was the
yes.
last time?
In summer.
I don't understand why I'm acting so surprised. I mean, okay,
I'm such a housewife, to be honest. I'm a housewife material.
No. I mean, like, it's a proposal.
Yeah,
sure.
with your korma
It's,
sabzi, your...
it's
Oh
not.
my
It's
God,
not
I
like.
have to taste it.
It's not like. It's not
By
like.
the way,
you're-
guys, the tea is a 10.
Yeah, I
Very
do
good.
agree.
There you go.
Thank you.
There you go. Now I'm happy. I mean, okay, sure. All right, he proposed. So what's the big deal?
Here's the big deal.
It's not. By the way, just sorry. I don't mean proposing is not a big deal. I just mean, so what makes it a big deal for you?
Okay. You see, we were on a relationship for 5 years.
This is a problem I have. He knows about it. He knows.
We've been on and off.
Like we have problem with these kind of things.
Oh.
The typical,
all-
like...
Like the normal,
don't get me
like
started.
the
I'm
things that
sorry.
people think that okay, it's normal,
It
but
is
it is not normal.
It is
Why
not
should it
normal.
be normal?
It is not.
Like these are the musts that we are not aware of them, and we accept them, and we don't think about them. Like today, I think we were talking about something that people don't think. Oh, for example, yeah, I remember the example you told me. People wear some T-shirts, shirts, or something with something on it, a picture or a typography or whatever, and they don't even check.
What it says.
Nothing. Are you serious? What
You
the
call
fuck?
I'm a queen. Do you remember that?
Yeah, exactly. Those-
Like that
calm.
70-year-old dayı.
So yeah, that's the problem. Not thinking, but it's not about you now.
Please explain about first, like,
He looks so
your
interested.
position.
Okay.
I'm sorry for
After
interrupting.
a
times.
5-year
Mhm.
on and off relationship. Okay, our story is a true love story. We both love each other, but here is a huge fucking but. The cultural difference and the class difference is a huge gap between us. I come from a very rich family, a very rich cultured family, but he is like, compared to me, he's not like that. He has a very normal family, which are struggling with financial stuff. So, since I'm the only child, the only girl, and my parents are obsessed with me, let's say. Not obsessed, or overprotective. They won't let me. I mean, my father, when the first time I told him, like, he proposed to me, my mother has this guard over him because she's like, he is not a husband material, and I am aware of it. But you see, after a long-term relationship, it's either getting married to him or
So I think
break
you're
it up.
shooting the ball to your parents' field. What do you think?
I want to get married to him. Like, here is the thing. But when I was a teenager, I hated getting married. I hated the concept of being a housewife. But right now,
What made you hate it? What made you hate it when you were a
because I had this huge image of myself being an independent woman, I was obsessed with the American dream. Like, I'm gonna be a businesswoman in New York. That was my ultimate dream. But right now, no, I'm not like that.
How old are you?
I'm 21.
Okay. So how did you destroy it?
Life destroyed it. I didn't.
Life destroyed.
Yeah.
At the age of 21.
Yeah.
You
I've
changed
been
your
through a
you changed
lot.
your mind.
I've been through a lot. My life, I didn't have family issues, but the things that I've been through, you don't know them. You may, yeah, I mean, you do know them, but you don't. The things that I've been through made this decision, not me. Made me make this decision.
I see. I understand.
Because when you're younger, when you're a teenager, you have this like dream about future.
Mhm.
Like when I become 20 something, I'm gonna be like this, like that. Especially like with my situation, I had 2 older sisters. One of them is like 17 years older than me. The other one is 11 years older than me. So I was like, when I come to their age, like when I'm like 20 something, I'm gonna go to do this and that. But like, it doesn't work like that. I
True.
think like the situation is.
And you see, I told my father the thing. Okay, here's the thing. I'm like, what my parents think. It's really important to me. So I told my father. He said no. I'm not
Can
allowing
I ask
you.
why?
Because basically my whole life I was trying to please them.
Because that's how like we are raised.
Pleasing her.
Especially
Parents.
Middle Eastern, like
Okay, do you
kids.
consider it as a problem or as a fact or as something that we have to accept?
as it's a
pleasing.
problem.
Okay, so we
I
know
think
the
it's
problem.
It.
Are you trying to solve the problem? Because I gave up. I don't want to do it.
You were doing it.
But you will never,
yeah,
you
but I
will
changed it to
never
finally. Like I
please
think,
not
them.
I think it is not about our country. It is something that we want to do it. It's something
It's
from
universal, right?
yeah. I think
I
it
do
is.
agree. Yeah, yeah.
I think it is something from childhood. Like when we are 2, 3, whatever. We look up and check our parents to see the feedbacks, to see their reactions, to get happy or mad or sad or whatever. But okay, in our countries, the third world countries, this problem continues till 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, doesn't
Yeah, it,
matter.
like
But in
continues
some
forever.
other countries, not countries, I'm sorry, in with some parents, it finishes somehow. So the parents make the kid think. But in our countries, parents make the kids think in a way that they want.
Mhm.
True.
But shall we accept it or should we fight against it?
Fine.
I've accepted
Folkman.
it. You see, you can. You see, I don't have the energy to fight for it. Okay,
I get cold. Drink it.
Okay.
I don't have the energy to fight. I just accept it.
What age do you think that you will die?
Hopefully, 30 something.
Okay, still you have 9 years.
Okay.
Why are you looking at me like that? Okay.
There is something that I'm not sure if it is common in all ADHD people, but for me, sometimes my brain goes somewhere else. Now, for example, I can send my brain there to the corner of the roof and see ourselves. And it helps me to see myself outside of the box.
That is the first time I've heard such a thing, by the way.
Yeah. I think there is a problem that everyone has. Like it's same for me. I can't use that superpower all the time. But we see the world in just one perspective. We don't see other things. So sometimes we give up. We sit somewhere and just check the people around us to see their reactions, to check their thoughts, and we continue and we make our decisions according to their words.
Mm-hmm.
But does it change anything?
No.
So should we stop doing it?
We should stop doing it, but like when you it became our comfort zone in a way.
We
So
got used
coming
to it.
out of that is hard. It takes so much work. Like she's been living like that for 21 years, and it's not like click and I'm gonna not be that way anymore.
It's not a switch. I'm turned off. No, it's not like that.
Especially, I think it's more like that if you're an only child.
Mm-hmm.
Because
You
it's
see,
so much easier to break.
Is only you. No, you're okay.
I ran away anyway.
I'm the only child, so the focus is on me. Whatever I do, my parents are like, no, that's not enough. Especially my dad. Like, he is the most sarcastic Persian father ever.
I just want to say something and probably I'm going to rest for a while.
Okay, grandpa.
8, 9, 10, 12, I don't know, I can't remember, years ago, one of my friends told me something. We were talking, but I didn't used to record podcasts back then. He told me, even you teach your parents how to behave. It is not about your friends, it's not about your student, it is not about your children. You also teach your parents how to talk with you, how to behave, how to...
That is true.
What happened?
My ears are hurting.
Okay.
Sorry.
I agree with that, especially like I'm the youngest in the family and the age gaps are like so much more than the normal age gaps in families. So after I experienced so many things, like I saw my relationship with my sisters, my dad's relationship with my sisters, like now everything is way more different because I fought for that, like, okay, you're gonna treat me like this and I'm gonna treat you like this way, the right way that they think is right. And like my dad used to be this strict, like no emotions guy. And now he can express his emotions in like the age of 60 something. So that's why I agree with him.
Your dad's changed.
My
Even when,
dad
I know
was
her
like,
for 2 years, but like
my dad was like, it's 6:31. Where are you? Like, I'm gonna be home in 10 minutes. It's late. Where are you? Like the classic Middle Eastern Persian dad. But
True.
now, like, we talk.
Do you remember
Once a day.
my mom calling your dad
Yeah.
in order to getting permission for you to stay in our
And
place? And now look where she's living.
I am
basically.
23 years old. Like last year, I was like 22, and I went through that. And now we're knock on wood. We're okay.
Yeah.
If you fight for it, you'll.
Honey, trust me, I've fought for it.
Don't make that face. Can I have my tea?
I have fought for it. Like
Thank you.
my dad was like, okay, my dad is a really cool dad.
He's cool, like in like normal things, but like in your situation with how you wanna get married to this guy, wanna get engaged and blah blah blah. He has like, we're saying this is the right thing, and you have to do this.
Mm-hmm.
He has like he suddenly sets boundaries.
No, he actually told me this. I consisted on the fact that I really want this dude. I mean, he was my first love. We've been in a relationship for God knows how
Yeah,
many
there's
years.
like the classic, you know, Persian
Lovers. Yeah, we are.
love story thingy.
Yeah. We.
You mean like Arash and Zuleika? What was his name? Sorry.
Arash.
Sorry. Oh, my mistake. Shirin and Arash. Oh, sorry. Shirin and Farhat. Okay. Or was
You know
it
the
Farhad and
movies
Shirin?
that you go to
Farhad
cinema
and
and
Shirin.
watch.
Shirin and Farhad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Khosrow.
We also have Shirin Farhad.
Yeah.
But Farhad is the rich
They're
guy.
probably making fun of us. Like, look at
Actually-
Sam's face.
No, Farhad is the one who-
Actually, it is the same. Actually, it is the same story. Shirin, Farhad, and Khosrow.
Yeah,
It was a
that's
threesome,
true,
yeah.
It was a trio.
Yeah, we had also Leila Majnun. But
You know, theirs is the, like-
What is the definition of love? What the fuck?
Okay, let me. Don't even get me started on that.
Oh,
I would love to hear
Actually,
that.
this is one of the questions that they ask people
I was
on
talking
their
about my
podcast.
No,
dad. Let me
never,
tell you
never.
guys
You
what
talked
he
about it in the
said.
first episode. I listened. And
I have no idea.
I was
could-
like,
how many
like-
episodes have you guys recorded before this?
Actually, no, yeah.
Actually, I'm sorry. It's my problem. Last week we were talking about the episodes and should we start uploading them and blah blah. He told me that Yeg came. We had just us recording and I couldn't remember none of it. And now
You
You're
were
at-
talking about like being loved. Is it like better to be loved or to love? And
okay, that's a normal question. It is
No,
like
no,
to
then
be
you
or
started-
not to be.
Shut up. Then you started talking about
Shout out to
love.
Shakespeare.
What do you think? Is it more important to be loved or to love? Well, is it? Look, this is a problem. I don't like the way this question is asked. I would prefer to ask,
What is?
how do you feel? Do you prefer to be loved or to love? Which one makes you more comfortable and why?
Actually, that question it's in a situation that
I am.
you love someone but you can't start a partnership with that person, or someone loves you and you have to reject that person because you don't love that person. But this question, it's another thing. Do you feel comfortable with being loved or loving someone?
Can it be both ways?
There's always a preference somewhere sitting in the corner. Like it's almost not possible to be comfortable with both of them in the same mountain level. There's definitely one of them that you would prefer a bit more for at least one reason. At the very least.
I wish we
This
were
comes from
lucky enough to
experience.
like.
This answer that I'm about to say comes from personal experience, because I loved him more than he did. I think.
Was it more comfortable for you to love, or
No.
did you prefer to be loved?
No.
more?
I prefer to be loved because it's
You're not the one that suffers.
Yeah,
basically.
Exactly. It comes from selfishness. I'm saying it. Because I'm exhausted right now. I prefer to be loved, not to love.
Yeah,
No.
their situation. That's why I told you guys, it's a classic
You couldn't hear
Persian
me. I said
love
what
story.
he proposed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He loves
but
me.
like
He-
I
he
wish we
loves
were
me,
all
but not as
lucky
much as
enough
I
to
do.
love and be loved in return. I wish we were lucky, but we are not. And I myself rather like to be loved more than I love.
I think there is no chance that we see an equal amount of love between two people.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember my answer? Do you remember what I said about this?
No, we interrupted the thing
Yeah,
and
we
we started
paused
talking
and we
ourselves like.
started
Wow, you were listening together,
Yeah.
and we are
Yes.
talking about something that I talked about it, and you guys remember and I don't.
It was actually this morning.
Yeah. This morning. I
We woke
started
up
listening
12,
to the
so-
podcast last night, then I just didn't continue.
How was it? Do you suggest it? Should I listen to it?
Actually, I'm like, I listen to quite a few podcasts and I like yours. She doesn't listen to podcasts. Do you?
No, I don't. I only listen to Impulsive, which is
I couldn't get your answer. What did you say?
I suggested, yes, please listen to it.
Really? What the
Like, this is one of the best podcasts ever. I mean, we are the guests, so they have been.
I finished your cigarettes. I'm so sorry. Thank you.
That's why I told you guys like about the whole Spotify, Instagram thing, so I can share it because I share the podcasts that I love.
We'll think about it. We'll
Okay.
consider it.
I'll consider it.
Thank you.
We have a box at the door.
I will email you my suggestions.
When did you guys meet him?
Actually,
You met him because of me.
I met him because of Nika, and at first
You
I
mean
didn't
Karen?
like him.
Yeah,
Karen.
from California.
He's not Karen. She's not
He's
Karen.
completely normal. No one likes me.
Actually, the
At
same
least-
thing happens with me.
Sorry?
What?
What?
I he said I do like you.
No, I mean the first day.
No, I did like you.
Because you're one of those people that like just you meet people and you like them. I'm not.
Yeah, true.
I have this guard toward people. That's like the same thing happens with me. Like people are scared to like communicate with me at first because I look so tense, and I am.
It's because I'm such an extrovert.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm selectively extrovert. Like it.
I remember the
Depends.
day that I saw myself in the mirror for the first time and I was scared as shit. Okay, you were answering Sam's
We
question.
were sitting at the like panga. Yeah. And I didn't know him. He came and he was like this guy and
With the coat.
yeah. No, he did. Did he?
Yeah, he was wearing a coat.
Yeah, you did have a coat thing.
You were wearing a suit, I think.
Come on.
Yeah,
No, I
you
do
weren't
remember
like in your casual
Really?
clothes. You
So
were
then probably
You were- you were
I came from the
from-
office.
Yeah, yeah.
probably.
Okay.
And I didn't like you, and you say, "Tavalludet Mubarak" out of
Yeah, happy birthday.
And I was like, huh? And then I
Al-
remember telling
actually,
Nika.
That's funny. Al had the same problem too. The first sentence that I told Al, it was happy birthday.
It's so funny how like where this comes from. This happy birthday.
Where does
thing.
it come from? Like
So
Wow,
It's
what's the
a-
back
story?
then, when?
back in the day.
Actually, it's just for 2 or 3 years ago, I think.
Yeah, it's actually for about 2.5 years, two and a half years ago. It was one of those mornings where I had not slept, and I was up through the night, and it was actually those days where I was like practicing on this Casio keyboard, which is it's a keyboard, it's not a piano, but I was practicing piano back then. I was like so excited to start my journey. on the piano.
Was it in
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, I thought it was in the Sarah place.
Yeah. And so my cousin used to stay at the place that I was staying at temporarily. My cousin was not staying temporarily. I was staying there temporarily, and Amir was there too. He was one of the people who stayed there, like kind of, as a, like permanently basically for then. And my cousin, and then our other friend who actually owned the house. And so it was about 8 a.m. And I really had to go into my cousin's room to get something from my backpack. And I entered the room and I see, he had this closet in front of his bed, right in front of his bed. It was a really big closet. And it was one of those closets that had like a complete upright mirror, like stuck to it basically. And he had written in some, in Farsi, he had written in a really, really big font.
Happy birthday.
تو هر روز به دنیا می‌آیی پس تولدت مبارک. Something like that. You're
That's
born.
what I do.
I think
You're born every day.
I think it
So
was
happy birthday.
هر روز تولدی دوباره است or such a thing.
No, but the thing is,
something I
at
would
the end
do.
of it, at the end of it, it literally wrote like something like happy birthday, like تولدت مبارک, happy birthday. And then so I opened the door. And he opened his eyes, and his eyes were red, and he was like, "What the fuck are you doing in the room?" And I looked at him. I looked at the mirror, and I said, "Think quick." And I said, "Tavalut Mobarak." I said, "Happy birthday to him." He didn't understand it. He understood it like 6 hours later when he woke up again, and because I heard him laughing in the room. He just suddenly started laughing from the room. He was like, and then he comes out and he says, "What?" And so that's where it comes from.
Actually, it's funny now that I know that.
And then I started.
And now everybody.
And then I started promoting it. And now in Ankara, whenever you say happy birthday in the street, someone will answer you with happy birthday. Even some ablas in our place, in our office, they have no idea about languages. Even they speak Turkish. Not very well. But if you tell them happy birthday, they will tell you happy birthday.
Yeah, it's just one of those things.
So happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to all of us.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Nobody likes you.
You look like
And
an
also we
animal.
have happy birthday in our theater on YouTube. We didn't think about it, but then later on it was part of the theater, and now we're using happy birthday everywhere for everything. Instead of hello, instead of thank you, instead of welcome, for everything we say happy birthday.
Okay, now we're gonna use it.
And Nika, I don't remember the first time that we met.
I do. I was attending the music rehearsal. Yeah, I was attending the music rehearsal, and you were there. You were practicing theater. I came. You came to the kitchen for tea, and I was like, "Oh, hi. Who are you?" And he was like, You introduced yourself, and I was like, "Oh."
Like a normal human?
Yeah, I know.
That's weird.
Like a normal human, because I wasn't in a rush. I was about to like pour my tea, go back to the rehearsal. I was like, "Oh, nice to meet you." And I was like, "Yeah, nice to meet you too." And then we separated. Afterwards, we saw each other every week because of the rehearsal shit. And we became friends when the second week we went downstairs to smoke cigarette with the other dudes. And
Yeah, come on.
is it recording?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. So, and I started to get to know you, and we became friends. You see, because I have this gift, let's say. I become friends with whomever I want.
I actually didn't like Nika at first.
How did you two meet first?
Yeah, normal Vista.
Actually,
Funny
after
story,
the
yeah.
second time that I saw you, it was in like the library performance thingy, and you came and said hi and stuff, and I was like, oh, he's actually a sweet guy.
A normal human.
Yeah.
He is. He's
He's not
such a sweet
monster.
guy.
Yeah, I didn't think you were a monster, but like
I consider myself as a monster.
No, you're not a monster.
the first
bro.
time that I saw Nika actually was through
A friend.
a
of ours.
mutual friend. that used to be our best friend, and
Yep.
unfortunately she's not anymore. I don't think she'll ever listen to this podcast, but if you're listening to this,
We're not friends. She is my ex-housemate.
Yeah.
We used to live together for
her
a year.
ex-house, the situation is so stupid. Her ex-housemate was my childhood best friend's friend, and we, like,
Complicated. Yeah.
in the summer of 2021, I went back to Iran and we like hang out back then, and then we talked and said like, when we go to Ankara, let's like see each other. And then we met in this cafe, random cafe in Tunalı. And then Tunali. Yeah, in
And
Tunali.
because we were housemates, we just moved in. It was the first
Mhm.
week. She told me that I have this friend from Iran. Let's meet her up. And I was like, okay, I'm down. So we went out with her. We met, and that night we bought a rosé. We went to our place. We started talking, drinking
Yeah.
wine and stuff, and we get to know each other. I told her my love story with my boyfriend.
And I
And-
told her the situation with my family, and then we became
We became
close friends. And then like as time passed, we became really,
Our
really, like,
relationship
best
is
friends.
based on time.
Yeah,
the-
exactly. It didn't
the-
happen like we didn't become best friends right away. We were like, oh, you're my close friend's roommate, and
Oh, you're my roommate's friend. We were like this.
and as I like spent time with them, I went like to their house, I stayed over there and stuff. Then we became
yeah.
good friends. Knock on wood. Again.
Actually, I really do like our relationship. I've never had such a deep relationship with anyone.
Hmm.
This kind of friendship.
Yeah, like all of my friendships in Ankara kind of like ended in a way after a
Same.
time. Like the ones that I met when I was like getting ready for like the university exams, like all of those people, we kind of like separated after a while. But yours was different.
It's
You are the
because
love of my life.
I'm
Because we give each other the space. Like
Yep.
we are close, but we like have our own lives. We're like so different, but we're actually
like when she asks for my opinion, I always tell her I'm not in the position to tell you what to do, but I think it's better. Blah 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 blah. And here's
and
the
I
thing.
say fuck you and do the thing I want to do.
And here's the thing. You see, when like she stays in my place, we don't talk.
Yeah, for like hours we're like,
We just
I do
our
my own
thing.
thing, she does her own thing.
Is it weird for you, Sam? Sometimes we don't
It's-
see each other.
It's like like you are real roommates, and like you have separate rooms and like have separate places
We even
in your
sleep in the same
house.
bed.
Her house is like one bedroom, like one living room, like
Yeah, you're
everything's
good
like
then.
in one place.
That's because of me.
What do you think makes a good friend?
Okay, let's get a dip.
What was the question again?
What do you think makes a good friend?
Oh, thank you for asking that.
Sure. I mean, that's why you're here.
I think trying to understand each other, even when you like, even if you don't agree with their opinion or the situation, trying
Trying
to
to be there for each other.
understanding and being there. No, they're not the same thing,
No,
but
no.
you don't always have to be there. But just knowing that you can go
Not
to this
physically.
person if you're like struggling in a situation is what makes.
I'm sorry, this is hurting my ears so bad.
It's because we have glasses. It hurts my
Yeah.
ears too. It's like hurting.
You don't need to put on your glasses right now. You can take off your glasses.
Okay, I don't see shit without.
Yeah, we're like literally blind.
Yeah.
Can you try your glasses on?
Okay,
I've tried hers. They're horrible.
let me. Here.
Yeah, wow. Okay, so you were saying?
Yeah, like trying to understand each other. Like the times that I feel like disconnected from you, this is turning into a therapy session.
True.
The times that I feel disconnected with you, like in all levels, is when I think like you don't get me. That's the problem.
Okay. Me and her, we have this thing when
We come from very different backgrounds, like how our parents were, how we grew up. Like I'm almost 2 years older than her. The whole thing, like the situations, everything's very different. We're like very different people, but the differences brought us together, I think. Even when you look at us, you can see that how different we are.
True. And here's the thing. In our relationship, we talk everything through.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. We fought once. The first time we fought.
It was like June last year.
Wow.
And I told her,
I
"Let's
literally
talk."
didn't even want to see her. She came to me, and like at first, it was like the second day, she came to me and said like, "We're not kids, let's talk." And I told, like, literally look her dead in the eye and said, "I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah,
I don't even want to see you." I like acted as if she was not there.
I went to Istanbul for a week to one of my friends' house. I crashed her for a week and came back, and she was like,
and I called her and I told her that I'm gonna eat. I'm craving hamburgers. Do you want to come with me? And she said, yeah. And then we went and we talked and we solved the problem, and that was...
I accepted.
Today we had another talk too. And
Today we had another talk, and we agreed
okay.
on... Yeah, we're okay. And here's the thing. When we were talking, here's the thing. We both accepted the things that we did wrong. And that is what's important in a relationship. Accepting. It's really important in my opinion. Accepting what you did wrong and accepting what you did wrong and accepting and telling the other person.
It's not about the acceptance, I think. It's about like listening and trying to understand where the like
Actually, I do
the
think
person
it's
in
about the
front of you is
acceptance
coming.
too. I do think it's about the acceptance too. It is, honey, it is.
It is, but I think that
In listening, there is an acceptance.
okay.
Yeah, true. I do agree with that.
Okay.
Drop the mic. Just drop the mic after
Don't
that.
drop it. You're gonna like.
Yeah, right? Fuck your ears.
Thank you.
No, I mean, I didn't mean fuck your ears straight, but okay, let's not get into
That's
that.
how your sarcasm works.
Legitimately, fuck your ears.
You laughed. For what? They were talking about friendship. They said something, and then you remembered something. You wanted to talk about it, but you didn't want to interrupt them. I think they were talking about some arguments, talking to each other. Oh.
No, it was just funny for me that she remembered the month when they argued.
Because the past, like since the May of 2022, so many different things happened in our lives. Like so many people like came into our lives and they left, and then like friendships, relationships, boyfriends, everything.
Wow. Okay, so it's just quite recent then, just a year ago.
Yeah, that's why we, especially like me and my anxious mind, we remember everything like to the exact.
Are you still anxious right now? Or do you feel calmer?
I feel calmer, but I'm still anxious.
That's good that you feel calmer.
Mm-hmm.
Still good.
Happy birthday to me.
How do your minds usually work? Do they work in a rather pessimistic style, or do they work in a rather optimistic fashion, or is it, well, preferably realistic but headed toward pessimism, or realistic and pointed toward optimism and optimistic
Mine goes
thinking?
like headed toward pessimism.
What do you think about me? No, tell the truth, please.
It depends on the situation, I think, but you're more on like more optimistic side of shit.
Yeah, I'm more optimistic.
Like we were talking today about this Netflix series. Is it called Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday.
Wednesday, and she's like this dark, pessimistic girl, and her friend is like this sunshine and rainbow and glitter, pink
That's me.
skies,
I'm a
and
friend.
like. And we were talking, and she's like the more happy
Mm-hmm.
glitter girl, and I'm like Wednesday, emotionless.
Are you emotionless?
No.
No, she's not. Trust me.
No.
But like I'm in every relationship, even with my relationship with my boyfriend, I'm like the sunshine, and he's like the darkest darkness you can ever see.
I think it's always I don't know if I really enjoy using the word blessing. Well, hell with it. I will. I think it's a blessing to have, you know, someone who is more of a sunshine and even better a glittery and shimmery sunshine. You know, having, I think, such person or people in our lives will definitely help. It wouldn't be great to be pessimistic and to have other people just agree with you and be on your terms and on your side every time your mind goes towards darker places or towards more negative places. So it's good.
Yeah, we're like yin yang.
Yeah, I said it earlier. We're like yin yang.
Okay, first of all, Wednesday wasn't a good series. Just the idea of hand was good. But do you consider
I
me
didn't
as
even watch it. She has watched it. I don't know the thing. I just
Yeah,
know
I
the
watched
whole
it.
meme thing that the friend is like.
bushfish?
I am not
It's
gonna
not
watch it.
important.
I'm gonna rewatch Friends for like the.
No, I want to ask you,
10
do you
million
see
times.
me like in it?
Do I see you in what?
Like
In the-
the roommate of Wednesday?
Oh. No, much different fashion.
Are you like Joey and Chandler type?
I think I'm Chandler.
You think, how am I Joey?
No, you're not Joey.
Oh.
I'm Chandler.
I'm Chandler too.
Two Chandlers. We have two Chandlers, and we have a Monica Geller.
I am Monica Geller, but you're
Rachel.
like a Rachel and Phoebe at the same
Yeah,
time.
true.
You're like the spoiled, oh my dad's rich, but I am like I'm doing my own shit type, but I'm crazy like Phoebe type.
Yeah, true.
So, which of these do you think bring more harm? Pessimism and pessimistic views, points of views and perspectives, or optimism?
Exaggerating both of them brings harm,
Mhm.
in my opinion.
Pessimism, I think.
Which one bothers you more, let's say?
In my situation, pessimism. Yeah, pessimism.
Can you explain why?
Because thinking glittery, let's say, every time isn't that good. Be
I
more
like the word
realistic.
literally. Literally.
Literally. the meme.
Yeah, because life isn't beautiful. Yeah, it could be beautiful, duh, but I mean, it's not always beautiful.
Yeah, but with pessimism, it's like even when a good thing happens to you, you always look at the empty part of the glass, not the full part. That is the harmful part for me, at least.
That's why I always try to think in an optimistic way. Yeah. Drops the mic.
Okay. What do you guys think?
What do you think?
What do you think?
And why?
You cheater.
You said pessimism.
Yeah.
So why?
Like I told you, I like when a good thing happens, you look like you try to find one thing that can go wrong in that good thing, so that's like holds you from enjoying that good and nice thing that is going to going on in your life.
What do you think made you a pessimistic person? Do you think like there's something that really influenced and had like major impact on your becoming a rather more pessimistic person?
I think what I've been through actually. Like, I'm not gonna tell you my whole life story, but what I've been dealing with for the past 6 years in my life made me, like, it's harder for me to look on the brighter side of things than it's hard for me, let's say. Everything that I've been through, like with my family, with my personal issues, like health stuff in our family, it's way harder to look on the brighter side. I'm working on it, but still, it's hard.
Oh, you got so much better.
What?
She got so much better.
I used to have this anger issue. Like last year, do you remember how angry I was
Which
at
one?
everything?
Yeah.
Like, I would get angry for this being here. I was like crazy. Now
You used to have OCD too. It's getting better.
the main problem was the anger issue. I think
Yeah,
like
true.
everything else can be, even my anxiety can like be worked on, but the anger was like I was going insane over everything.
Well, I'm sure that we could name many different subjects and issues as a challenge to be human and to live in this world. And a while ago, back in the day, we did talk a little bit about the most challenging concept or subject on your minds these days. But in a more general aspect, in a much more general aspect, and in a much more superficial way, I'm going to ask, what are the hardest things about being human and about living in this world today?
I need
Why
to
is
think.
everyone looking at me?
I don't know. I just looked at her and she looked at you and I was like, well,
Okay, while you're thinking, I want to answer the previous question, but in another way. I think a bit of both optimism and pessimism help us to make our decisions better.
can you not put it in front of your nose because I can hear you breathing?
So yeah, optimism helps to bear the life, and pessimism helps us to make our decisions better.
If you can balance that, I mean, that
Yeah.
would be the best thing.
You
but
can't
like,
balance anything
Balance
in your
is the
life.
key in life.
Okay, that's enough.
if
Other
you can,
question.
even if you can like make it like 49 to 51%, like
What about 60-60?
Mm.
okay, I'm
Identity
Bye.
crisis.
I'm leaving. What was your question we were thinking about?
The most challenging aspects, or let's say, well, the hardest part or the hardest things about being human today in this world.
That no matter what you do, like how many people you have in your life, as like your partner, your family, your friends, everything, you go through everything alone. Accepting that you are
Read.
alone in every situation is the hardest part, I think.
Agreed.
Especially like I went through this challenge of loneliness this past summer, and me trying to accept that at least for like a percentage was very, 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 very hard.
You see,
Okay.
you okay?
enough, let's go. Let's go walk.
You see,
Is it snowing?
I hope.
No, not yet. I think
I
there's
don't
still an
think.
hour. There's still an hour left until it starts snowing.
Is it?
No, not yet. It's gonna snow in a bit.
Okay.
So,
Well, harder, Amir. Just like go and run to the window and then slam it.
So we're gonna have a storm thing here in Ankara.
Probably something like that.
Okay, Nico was talking. Sorry.
Yeah. You see, despite the fact that I'm afraid of loneliness, I go through every hard situation in my life alone.
Yeah.
That's what I'm proud of myself the most.
Yeah.
And I think that is the most challenging part. That's why I agreed with her. Why? Because every single trauma, every single thing that happened to me, I figured out the way out of it alone.
Yeah.
And that is challenging.
Yeah.
Imagine a teenage girl, a 14-year-old girl, getting out of a really huge trauma that could ever happen to a girl alone.
Yeah. Right. And I'm sure you had plenty of it, right?
Yes.
And I'm sure it was very hard.
Yes, I've experienced depression, like severe depression.
Yeah.
It was I had this phrase in my life when I blacked out and I kind of woke up.
Yeah.
I didn't know where I was. How did I get there? Like, what the fuck? Where's my phone? And I've been through such phases in my life. I've been to medical... How can I say it? I've been to medication for it. I've used pills. I've used a therapist for like 3 years. And I was alone. Nobody knew, except my therapist, nobody knew what I went through. And after 5 years, I told my parents what happened. And I do remember my mom. She was like, nah, you're fucking with me. I was like, no, bro. No. When I was 40. Shall I say it here?
It's your situation. I cannot like guide you.
I'm kind of over it right now. So when I was 14, I got raped by 3. That's how I lost my virginity. And after 5 years, I told my mom when I was coming here, I told her, like, this shit happened to me. And imagine my mom coming from a really strict family. My mom, we come from Qajar, my mother's side.
Can you explain what that is?
What is Qajar in English?
Qajar is an era in Iran's history.
One of the royal families.
Yeah,
basically.
we come from a royal family.
That's enough.
Yeah. And imagine my mom, an Iranian woman.
What were those days like back then?
First denial. I do remember, like, first 8 months. I was like, nah. And, like, it wasn't one. I got raped by 3. And...
What?
I got raped by 3, not just one person. 3 fucking people. And you see, even like, sorry. Okay, so even, alright, no, thank you so much. Let me get some.
Come on, you have beautiful tea here. Why go for water? Why go for water?
You have a 10 out of 10 tea.
No, thanks.
She can fix everything.
So yeah, here's the thing. First things first, it was denial. I was denying everything. Like, no, nothing happened to me. And I started lying about it to others. Like, I said shitty things that I'm not even gonna mention them. And after that, I met a girl in my life. She told me, like, I don't know what's wrong with you, but visit a therapist, like a medication therapist. What do we call it in English? Psychiatrist, yes, thank you. Like, go to a psychiatrist. So I went there. I told her everything. And I do remember the day that I told her. And I was like, still denying it. Like, it's nothing.
Can you like explain like how it was, where it was, when it was, like how did you explain it to her?
I told her that, do you want to hear the story?
You can say whatever and however much you desire to, and I'm open.
I'm not going to say
li-
the story. I've never said the story to anyone. I just
I'm
written
open to
it
listening,
once.
whatever, and hearing whatever you want to say.
I'm not going to tell the story because if I start, I'm not going to be able to continue. So moving on from the story, I told her what happened. Like, I'm telling you guys exactly the same things. And she was like, she gave me more more drugs, yeah. More medicine. And afterwards, I started taking the medication, and that's when my depression got worse and worse and worse and worse. That's when I realized what happened to me. I used to listen to just one album of a Persian rapper.
Who?
Jidad, Haftad. You haven't heard it?
Nope.
Nope. And that album actually saved my life. It has a song called Butterfly, and I have a tattoo of it. That's why it kept me from not committing suicide. I do remember a day I just had a blackout. When I came back, I was sitting at the edge of my balcony. My balcony's edge, 10 centimeters, 2 inches, and
Sorry.
I do remember waking up there, and it was just a moment. I was like, end it. Fucking end it. And the only thing that I thought about
I
was
think
my
you should have a trigger warning somewhere in this.
Huh?
You should have had a trigger warning before you explained all of this. But
Yeah,
do
the only
something
thing
about
that I
that.
thought about that second was my mom. How is she gonna feel about her only daughter killing herself? She not knowing why. Nobody knows why. And that was the moment I decided to heal myself, decided to start the get over process. And I made it. Not completely, not yet. I still have nightmares. That's why I was in a... No, I'm not going to say it. Okay, that's why I chose my current boyfriend, because he is such an understanding person. And he helped me a lot with my situation. When we met, I was 16. We were best friends for a year. We were literally best friends.
Yeah.
He was my best. He was my first boy best friend. Then we decided to go in a relationship, and he helped me a lot in the process. He helped me heal. And so yeah, right now I'm not using any drugs anymore, any medication anymore, and I still have nightmares. Whenever a stranger touches me, I still get goosebumps. I still remember every single fucking detail about it. And it's actually traumatizing.
But you got out of it.
Not completely.
Not completely, but well, let me correct myself and rephrase what I said. But A, you're still here. B, well, due to the reason that you're still here, it means that there is something, or there are some things. Well, one of them I could definitely guess, which is, well, the person you're in a relationship with right now, who has helped you out so much to collect yourself again, to recollect yourself. So, but aside from that, there are definitely other things, or at least another thing that has kept you going.
True.
When we put these aside, how do you feel right now, sitting and looking back at it and listening to yourself and hearing yourself going through these words? What are the emotions in your head right now?
First things first, I'm proud of myself. I'm
Here,
really proud of myself.
I yeah, go for it the third time, because here pride, I think, is definitely something that you should emphasize on.
Like a Middle Eastern woman in her teenage years. And not, I mean, being raped in Iran is a taboo. We all know it. Like, get over it. You wanted it yourself. I used to blame myself. I wanted it myself. I fucking wanted it myself.
Right?
I asked for it. You were acting slutty. You asked for it. Blah 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 blah.
Your job, your hair, your clothes.
It's actually everywhere. It's not about like only Iran. The rape thing, whatever.
Yeah, but in our country is more than other countries because they consider fucking males more important than women. So when something bad happens to women, because male are more important in those fucking countries, so people start blaming women instead of those motherfuckers.
I was afraid of being blamed. And you know, when I told my mother what happened and when she like accepted it, she told me that if you told us the first week, we could have done something legally about it. And that is true. I could have done something legally about it. But I didn't. I chose not to.
Okay, but you were too young.
Yeah.
You couldn't do it.
I still blame myself for it.
But you can't do it again. You can't blame yourself because doing such a thing after something like that needs someone to teach you, and no one teaches these kind of things in Iran.
True.
Not in Iran, in lots of countries. Like, I'm sure we have the same kind of cultural problems in Turkey. We have the same kind of problems in Afghanistan. Again, all those fucking countries that I counted them in each episode of this podcast. We can't blame anyone. Even I can't blame those motherfuckers because they were also in a bad situation, bad education, bad everything. So if we are blaming someone, definitely we should blame the people who are in charge of the country, not the normal people. But it doesn't change the fact that those motherfuckers did something terribly wrong.
They were also teenagers.
So can you please, like, first, because I have another question. Can you first tell us what are the emotions in your head right now?
Disgust. Sad. Happy.
Disgust, sad, happy, when looking back at those days.
Yeah.
And I have another. So the other question, I don't really know any other way to ask it. So I mean, I'm just gonna ask it as direct as I can. What are your exact feelings right now toward those 3 people? And what would you like to?
You see, here's the
tell
thing. The place that I used to work in back in Iran. So one day, one of them came there, and he was looking for an English teacher. I was teaching in my class, so he came in. I went out. Like, who are you? I used to work in a local institute, and he saw me. I knew he recognized me. I also recognized him. And I opened the door. I looked and I closed the door. I had children. I had 4-year-old children. My students were 4 years old. They asked me, like, teacher, what's wrong? I collapsed. I collapsed, started talking in Farsi, which we're not allowed with kids. And I was like, nothing. I started talking Farsi, like, nothing's wrong. Nobody else was in the institute. It was just me. And I was in charge. So I had to go out eventually. I was like, I took a deep breath and I acted like I didn't know him. I went out. I was like, hello, can I help you? I was like, yeah, I'm looking for an English teacher. I gave him the card and I was like, I cannot talk to you right now because I'm in class. Come back tomorrow. I called my boss and I told her that I need a day off tomorrow. Can you put someone else in charge? And I ran away from it. But if I see them right now, I'm gonna run away. To be honest, I'm gonna run away because I healed myself-ish. I healed myself, but seeing them again and again makes me feel bad about it. I do remember that night. I went. The second I was done with my job, I went out. I went home and I threw up because of the pressure I was under. I called my best friend back in the day. I called her. I told her that I saw him. Pick me up. I cannot even drive my car. Pick me up. And I mean, me and those boys, we live in the same neighborhood. I saw them a couple of times, but I was in my car and I was like, just leave this fucking spot you're in right now. I cannot face.
That's understandable. Even if the wound doesn't hurt anymore, which hurts definitely 100%. There is something on your heart. There is something that you can't ignore it. So running away, I think, it's not a bad idea.
Yeah, just
after this, well, experience, this horrific experience, did you change how you looked at men in general?
I did.
And let me add that you don't seem to have such a negative perspective when it comes to the male gender. You don't seem to be a person that tries to put distinctive nuances and differences and set borders between males and females at all. So have you pulled off something that is rather challenging after such a horrendous experience? Or did it actually change at all even? Did it ever change? Did it change and then did you rechange it?
Yeah, exactly. That happened. It changed.
Can I add something else?
Yes.
We have someone else around us. I don't want to mention the name, but she had the same problem as you had. And she can't behave like you. She has more problem with males, with men's, whatever. So I think you managed it in a way that you can think better and decide better about your relationship with people. Also, I have to add the fact that probably her family made it more difficult for her.
Okay, here's the thing. When like this happened to me, I started to act manly, more masculine. I got into a relationship with a girl for 1.5 years, exactly after it happened. And I became bisexual. And after like it's this past 3 years after my stomach surgery, I decided to be a feminine woman again because I decided to love myself. I decided to put myself first. I mean, I'm just mentioning my emotions right now, what
Sure.
I've been through.
Yes.
And I think I am really better now. I
Even looking back, like when I first met you and looking at it now, you've like changed in so many different ways.
I
Like,
became so
not
mature.
only the appearance, but your like the way you think, your confidence level,
True.
everything. I'm proud of
And
you.
yeah, like I when you asked for my emotions, I also said happy. Why am I happy? Because
Yeah. Why?
because when I look back at the traumas I've been through, this is not the only trauma I've been through, but this is the worst. And when I look back at the traumas that I've been through, they made me the person I am today, and I'm happy because of it. Because I'm way more mature. I look at life in a really different way that I used to. Even if I'm here, I came here when I was 19. I like the last years of my teenagers. I could have stayed in Iran, and trust me, the community that I grew up in, the spoiled kids. I'm not gonna get into it. Like the spoiled, the rich kids, let's say. I grew up with them. Like, and the fact that I dragged myself out of the shit that I was in, the reason is the traumas that I've been through, the things that I experienced that they didn't. When I was 18, my father told me that there's no more pocket money, work. And I do remember my friend 3 months ago, I told her, why don't you work? She was like, my father wouldn't let me. And I compared my father to hers. Like my father told me, like, bitch, no pocket money anymore. Work. And I was happy. I am happy about it. I really am happy about it. I consider it a life lesson.
Yeah. I agree with you. And I
Bad beach
advocate it too.
enthusiast is coming out. Sorry.
Yeah.
And like, what can I say? I'm happy about, although my father's my relationship with my father is so toxic, but I also appreciate him because I love my father. I really do love my father, and I really appreciate him because I think that whatever I have today is because of the things he taught me back in the day. Because of the things he told me, because of the life lessons he gave me. He is such a great man. And the fact that I immigrated, the fact that I started learning English professionally, the fact that I got my teacher training course, everything, blah, blah, blah. The fact that I have multiple certificates in English is because of my father. And I really do appreciate him. Shout out to you, Dad, if you're listening to
We
this.
blame
the
our
future.
parents for everything. Like we say, I have depression and it's because what you did, like in the past and everything like that, but it's their first time living to being humans and being parents on top
True.
of it. So we have to consider that. So yes, they could do better, but it's like still their first time being a human being.
Yeah.
Mike is yours.
No, I don't think I I don't know. First of all, I don't know how tired you guys are. But I'd assume you're tired. Yeah. So we can get into that another time, because there are many things that we could talk about regarding parenthood and childhood, and even just making the decision to have children or not. Should I? Yeah.
I want to say something. Yeah, Nico, before starting the podcast, she was singing some bullshit songs and was saying that, okay, I'm going to shit your podcast.
Yeah, we were
I don't want to be serious. Okay, what do you feel now?
Okay.
She was like, I'm not going to talk about anything personal.
The silly one
Yeah.
and the one who talks serious, who's mature, blah blah blah.
I told you, as soon as the mic is on, you are a philosopher.
Yeah, he told me.
Yeah. Well, before wrapping it up,
should I say the picture first and then you ask the question?
Yeah.
For each episode, we ask our guest to send us a picture, so we can put it for the cover. So please decide a picture and then send it for us. Could be anything, like from the street, something whatever you want, doesn't matter.
Let's ask Stan.
And you don't have to do it now. You can send it later. You can think about it and send it later.
But just
Shout
as
out
long
to you,
as it doesn't
Stanley.
have as long as it doesn't have any copyright issues, like as long as it's not from from a famous modern contemporary painter, or I don't know.
I'm gonna choose an NFT.
So yeah, I pass the microphone. Good night.
Happy birthday.
Sam is
Happy
going to ask the
birthday.
last question. Happy birthday.
Yes. Just one last question. You guys might or might not, but let's say might come back one day, and take a look at, give a listen to this. maybe just for a few seconds, maybe for a few minutes, you might, feel too much cringe and just not want to, or vice versa. But it is quite interesting to always to see and hear a recorded thing, a recorded word, a recorded sentence / sentences. Yes, pictures, music, paintings, drawings, writings. And well, here this one is an audible type. And I'm sure it would be interesting for you too in the future to come back and hear yourself as answering this question. Where is Vesta and Nika going to be? Where are Vesta and Nika going to be in the next few years? Where do they see themselves? What's the plan? I think you should go for it first, because you've been quite silent.
That's an interesting question.
Is it? I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a good question.
It's like, in job interviews, they ask you where do
Well,
you see
it-
yourself in
but-
5 years.
But here you don't have to lie, because I'm not going to hire you. And actually, if you ever came to a job thing, I would never hire you.
Thank you for trusting
I
me.
may hire you for the theater, so be careful.
I'm money.
Yeah. You.
I had to. Sorry.
Thank you. Where will I be?
Where do you want to? I mean, first of all, what is your plan? What is the plan? Where do you want to? And of course, sure, if you want to look at it realistically, where will you be? But well,
I will probably be a graduate, like from a department that I didn't want to be in. I'm studying physiotherapy, and this wasn't the plan 5 years ago. I will graduate eventually and continue start doing something that I really love. and maybe starting a business on it in a few years and be more independent, because like I'm still living with my parents and everything, and I'm like still their little girl even though I'm 23. So that's the plan for the next 4 or 5 years maybe.
I'm sorry. In my mind, I considered myself as 28. I don't know why.
Old.
Okay.
That's the plan for now.
All right. And you?
Oh, me. Right now, the second, when I think about my future, I see myself married. I finished my school. I'm studying English literature right now.
Mm-hmm.
I finished it,
Mm-hmm.
and I immigrated. I had my second immigration. And we're living somewhere, someplace nice. Australia, Canada, Europe, anywhere except Middle East.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm studying for my master's for dog traits.
Mm-hmm.
And fingers crossed, I want a happily ever after.
Fingers crossed. All right.
And we are off.
What, come again? Sorry.
And we are off.